Hello everybody, here we are today doing a video talking about the Sidney Crosby extension. I'm going to be honest, I wasn't expecting to make a video today, but when number 87 ends up signing a deal, you do have to kind of talk about it a little bit, as Crosby has signed a 2-year deal that will kick in after this season, meaning that we get a guaranteed 3 more seasons with Sidney. So looking at all this, it is of course interesting too, knowing that this kind of could be the end of it all if he is signing this 2-year extension. Maybe that's kind of where he sees himself at in 3 years, being done with the game. But I do think a lot of things could happen in those 3 years, primarily the fact that he is top 10 at the moment in points for all time. Now he's currently ranked 10th, and with the way things are going at the moment, he could probably crack into the top 5 if he keeps about a 70-point pace. He is 200 points back, I believe, or right around 200 points back of Ron Francis for 5th all-time, and if he was able to get 210 points in that span, he would be able to pass him and be in that top 5 spot, which would be a true and great honor, as you'd be passing guys along the way in that top 10 that are hockey icons. And I think in this case, we understand that Crosby is a hockey icon. It's weird to think about guys that are currently playing in the league right now and saying, oh, they're up there with some of the best names that there ever was. But in this case for Crosby, you probably could argue that a guy that has had a lot of regular season success as well as a 3-time Stanley Cup winner. He had a big hand in making Pittsburgh the cup contender that they were for a very long time, and he was just vital to turning around this Pens organization. And to be able to win those other 2 championships in 2016 and 17, I do think we're able to help keep him be a Pen for life, if you will, because had he only won 1 back in 09, I do think he would have been trying to do a little bit of legacy chasing and trying to possibly go on to another team and be in that spot where he's going to say, I need to be on a cup contender. And Pittsburgh at the moment doesn't really feel like a cup contender. They aren't terrible, but they aren't a division winner at the moment. And so for now, I think this kind of pushes off all that talk about, oh, would he have ever gone off to another team? Maybe one day he could have talked about that in a future interview or something like that. But just seeing this, I would say that his long-term security with Pittsburgh is safe. Helps too, as well as the fact that they gave him a lot of money. This wasn't a Steven Stamkos situation where Stamkos wanted a lot of money, but Tampa Bay was saying, we're not really going to give that to you. Older player, and you might be hurting of us in terms of being competitive, as we feel like our Stanley Cup window might still be open, whereas Pittsburgh, I think, understands the true icon that is Crosby, even though they've already had many icons there before. So this season we'll be keeping an eye out for Crosby, as he will be guaranteed to hit 600 goals, as he's just like 8 away at the moment and is right around that 1,600 point mark, is 4 points away. A lot of milestones to watch out for this year. I know Crosby is going to be there. I know McDavid is going to be closing in on 1,000 points, and just all things you have to keep an eye on. But anyway, circling back to Sid the Kid, of course, a great career so far, but looking forward to see how these final years play out, as he's still producing 94-point year last year, and is a player that I'd almost like to see push it to see if he can go top 3. I'd have to see exactly how much math would have to play out for that and exactly how old he'd be, and of course injury concerns and all that, but I am just excited to see how things panned out for him. And I could say now that I'm more mature looking back at his time with the Penguins and seeing how important those wins were in 2016 and 17. I was very bitter then, but in terms of what his legacy was, I could understand how if he just had 1 cup and then you saw a lot of the injuries that derailed him and kind of pushed down his numbers a little bit, how people might not have viewed him as this all-time great. But again, just so many awards that relate to individual success and team success, and seeing where he ranks with a lot of these guys and seeing how much those icons actually respect him as well. I would say that he has just had an impact for this game that we will never truly understand. Guys like him and Ovechkin really were able to help revive the league after having that lockout, and it's just very crazy to think that the end of Crosby and Ovechkin's playing days are right around the corner. So enjoy it while you can. Sid the Kid getting paid, getting to play in Pittsburgh, and hopefully getting them back to the playoffs to make them in the mix. See if he can go on a bit of a tear for himself in the postseason. So anyway, what are your thoughts on this deal for the Penguins, knowing that they have Crosby for the next 3 years? And are they going to try to make a go of it in that time? Let me know down below in the comments. Also, please make sure to like this video if you enjoyed it. Subscribe if you're new. Everybody stay safe. Have a great night. And you love hockey, alright. Goodbye, Brigadiers and Brigadettes. This is your captain signing off. Have a great night.